Well, that was strange. Just having some issues there with going live. All right. Oh. I better check to make sure this is working. Live. All right. Okay. So it is working. Yay! Let me copy the URL and share it out, and then we'll get started. It's so different than streaming video games on Twitch or something, you know? But we'll get used to it. We'll figure it out. Okay. So what you can see on my screen here is a website that I set up last night for my uncle. He mentioned how great it would be to have a place where people can share their like corporate positivity stories during all of the stuff that's going on right now in the world. He wanted to call it Capeless Heroes. So there we go. I registered the .ca domain name because the .com domain name was already taken. Installed WordPress. And configured a few things. And I just kind of wanted to go through a little bit of that so you can understand what I did. You can see here we have this nice little kind of hero section. Some of the latest posts. Form to submit your story, and that's pretty much it. There's a page with a badge on it, like if you want to add the badge to your website to show that you were a Capeless Hero or featured on this website. I'm not sure if anyone is going to do that, but the option exists. And that URL's wrong, so let's edit that page real quick right now. Actually, I think I have the .com of that as well, or just the .org. I don't know. I registered the domain name. I did everything very quickly. You'll notice that I'm using Elementor, which is kind of nice. Capelessheroes.ca. Okay. So I love that I'm using Elementor because it let me do this website very, very quickly. Well, hurry up and update. I'm so impatient with technology sometimes. And again, if you have any comments or questions, just go ahead and use the live chat. If you're watching this after the fact, leave some comments and in this video, and then I will try to address them next time. Okay, so let's go exit the dashboard, and we'll go back to the front page. And so this entire page is actually Elementor. So if we click Edit with Elementor, you'll see that I did the header in Elementor, and this is the homepage body in Elementor, and the footer is in Elementor as well. For those of you wondering how I got the gravity forms, this is a gravity form embedded in here with its own widget. My goodness, sorry, I'm getting work messages. That's why you hear that noise in the background. And if you hear another like weird whirring noise, that's actually my 3D printer. So one of the things that I'm doing is actually 3D printing some PPE equipment, personal protective equipment for local medical services, making kind of the headband for a face shield. They need hundreds of them apparently, so that's what my 3D printer is doing. So if you hear a little bit of weird noises in the background, that is likely what it is. As I was saying, this Gravity Forms thing here, it was actually a extra plugin that I installed. So we'll exit back out and we'll go into plugins and I'll show you what I have installed. So Power Pack Lite for Elementor. So this is the plugin that I'm using to be able to get that Gravity Forms Elementor thing. It includes all kinds of free widgets for Elementor I haven't used yet, but one of them is this Gravity Forms styler, and that's what I'm using to be able to do that. And of course, they have a pro version. Everything has a pro version these days. They have a pro version as well that gives a bunch more stuff, but I haven't used that. I've just been using the free version. Sorry, everyone. Busy day. So you can see here I'm using Breeze, and that's because this site is actually being hosted on Cloudways. Most of the stuff that we do is being hosted on GridPane. I guess hosted by is also kind of a misnomer with these services because they're a little different. They are kind of the control panels, so you might have like cPanel on your web hosting. Cloudways and GridPane are kind of control panels, kind of. They allow you to have some extra support. They take a little fee over top of what you pay, but you're really setting up your sites on DigitalOcean boxes, Vultr boxes, and other cloud hosting services that are out there. So I highly recommend them if you have a chance to use them. Cloudways has kind of shifted a little bit lately in terms of their support model, and GridPane is a little more expensive, so your mileage may vary. I'm using Elementor with Elementor Pro. I'm using Gravity Forms, PowerPack Lite for Elementor, and Yoast SEO. So very lightweight in terms of plugins. I also have Auto Optimize on there. I haven't enabled it yet. I don't know if I will because Breeze does some things that kind of get us most of the way there, but it doesn't necessarily do all of them. So again, I really dislike having multiple plugins that cover the same functionality more or less. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with that, but let's see. In terms of posts, so each of those Gravity Forms submissions come in as posts. So this is all a post. So let's go in here, form, edit. So I have submit a story. So I ask them for their name and email. And that's just more so I can reach out to them if I have any questions. Post title. So these are using post fields in Gravity Forms right here. So you can see we have title, body, excerpt, tags, category, post image, custom field. So we're using post title, and there's post body. And this post image is a featured image if they add it, which is great. See, set as featured image. And this location of business is actually selected categories from the categories list on the site. So if they select Manitoba, that's which category this post will be in when it's published. By default, I have it set so that they always are a draft, so that they don't just automatically go live. You can see here that it says pending review as post status. You could change that to publish if you want, or draft, or whatever, but I put it as pending review. And the default post author is myself. You can add all kinds of things to set the default post author to be the person that submits it. That's just way too much for this project because the post author doesn't really matter, except that I need to keep that information in case I need to reach out to them. And I set a lot of these to required because there's no point in posting anything unless they give me this information. So the post image is the only one that is not required, as well as name and post image. Because I need their email address if I need to reach out to them. Post title, because of course every post has to have a title, category, and content. So there's that. Let's see, settings. So the only form settings that I have that are special, I think, is just that I enabled anti-spam honeypot, enabled animations. Not that there are really any animations to speak of. The default confirmation, all I did was change the text. Notifications, I didn't do anything there. Personal data, I didn't do anything there. So very simplistic setup for Gravity Forms. I'm not even using any of the add-ons as far as I'm aware. Yeah, I'm pretty sure not using any of the add-ons. I do have access to them all, but I mean, for the majority of data collection, you don't need them. So I didn't add them. In the future, that might change though. And then in terms of pages, I really just have kind of the two main pages. The privacy policy that always comes with WordPress is in there, but I didn't use it. And the permalinks are set to post name. So by default, your permalinks can be kind of weird and wonky, so make sure you double check that setting, because if you have like index.php/postname, then that's kind of weird. And you shouldn't need to do that on most hosting platforms. And if you have it set to plain, that's just wrong. And I'm not a big fan of having the day and name or month and name put in the post. I think that's kind of, you don't need it. So I don't have it. I mean, that's about it for this site. It's pretty simplistic in what it does. Let's go through some of the Elementor stuff, actually. So I'm using their theme builder option that they now have. And you can see here we have a header. And if we click Edit with Elementor, we can edit that header. And because I have a Pro license, I just basically grabbed one of the ones that already exist and then just customized some things. So this was originally an image. I changed it to be text. And over here, they had different colors for the hover effect. And I just changed those as well. And you can see here under hover, I just changed pointer color, and I also changed the pointer width. Really simple, really quick to do. The thing I like most about Elementor is in terms of how it looks in the content area here, this output is not as garbled as the output in some other tools. And so even if you disable Elementor, your site's not going to completely break necessarily, which is a nice feeling. The template that I'm using for the posts, you can see here I have a post template, and if we edit with Elementor, I think it'll pull up an example post, and it did, the latest one. And you can see here I just have the title, the featured image. I have a 2-column design here with one side showing the post content and the post comments. And then over here I have the sidebar, which is set just to show kind of recent posts. And again, this is not a true sidebar in that WordPress way of like adding widgets really easily. I could have done that, but I didn't. I just kind of put the recent posts there just so that they're easy to access. If you have any comments or questions about anything I've done here, please let me know. Elementor is a super powerful tool, but with any super powerful tool, there's a lot of learning curves. And so I can understand if you have had issues with trying to figure out how to do things. Thankfully, there are so many great resources online to figure that stuff out. So unless anyone has any questions, we're going to head over to the WordPress.org support forums again today. And let's see if we can get to that list of topics with no replies. Actually, I also did get a notice that I had some replies. I don't have WordPress set up on Slack right now. That's weird. I'll have to... How would I... Replies? Oh, that's frustrating. I don't know of an easy way for me to get back to the ones where people followed up. I'll have to look into that for the next one. So, topics with no replies. Okay, let's see what we got here. These poor people down here. Okay, most of these people I've looked at, I wasn't able to help them. Sorry, people down at the bottom. But here we go. Salesforce integration with GeoDirectory. You're not going to get help with that in here, I'm sorry. You need to contact someone specific. Create database for member access. Let's have a look. Video on mobile only shows play buttons rather than thumbnails. Custom menu links appear in search results. Looking for a quick guide plugin. Remove duplicate H1 tag in doc direct template. What's that? An issue with recent WordPress update. Displaying page or post type question mark. Okay, so let's look at these ones. I would like to create a database for member subscribers to be able to access and use, filter, and easily export data. Boom. Let's see if that helps them. So yeah, I mentioned Gravity Forms and Gravity View because I know those plugins fairly well. I know Gravity Forms very well. And there should probably be spaces in there, but whatever. Getting so many messages about work stuff, but they're going to have to wait 45 minutes. They can wait. There's nothing burning. It's just everyone wants stuff right now. It's end of month. So, yeah, so Gravity Forms and Gravity View. Let's see, gravityview.co. So you can see I go to these websites a lot. So, displaying Gravity View entries. So you can see here, you can kind of create a directory view. Yeah, like member directories. You can create a directory with Gravity View. So basically, Gravity Forms would collect the data. So let's say you decide that you want to show, you know, all these personal profiles or whatever. You'd have a form set up to collect that information. It would all go into WordPress, and then Gravity View would allow you to display that information. I think it lets you even set up filters, if I remember correctly. Data tables, the best script working. Yeah, see? See different layouts in a demo. Yes, that's what we want. So you design the layout that you want. No, come on. Yeah, here we go. Do they not actually have a... Okay, here we go. So yeah, you can like look through this data, filter by attendance, yes or no. So you can add filters, which is great. I don't see an export function here. I'm not exactly sure how you see that working in terms of an export function, but I think these two plugins would probably get you the closest very quickly. No Alleavable. Hopefully that helps. Hey, I'm having an issue where the customized mobile preview shows normally, but when I go to my site on my phone, it doesn't show the thumbnails. Doesn't show the thumbnails. Hate going to other people's websites when you don't know what website you're going to end up on. Okay, so they have the videos here. Looks like they're building this page out maybe with Gutenberg blocks, which would be great. So if we go into inspect, and we change this to not the iPhone 5, the iPhone 6, and refresh. And I don't know if it's going to create the... Oh my goodness. Okay. So we can see right away what ended up happening was, like, it looks fine like this-ish, but when we switch to the iPhone and refresh, then for some reason this doesn't show correctly.
Rise is way too fast.
It's like they're there. Oops. I didn't mean to play your videos. That's interesting. Sure enough, it doesn't show properly. This is most likely... Yeah, so they're there, but they're not sized properly. Nope. Yeah, see, they are there, but there's something in the CSS that's breaking it. Unfortunately, I'm not exactly sure what is breaking it. Okay, well that's interesting. So they're all being like stacked on each other rather than being separated. If I could spell, you guys. Can you believe I helped my wife write a book, a novel? Whew. Let's move on. Custom menu links appear in search results. Hi there, I have a lot of custom menu links on my site, but they do not appear in my search results. Is there any way I can make display in the search results? I know the WordPress core search is very limited. I have tried relevancy, but that didn't have the option. Any help appreciated. Custom menu links that do not appear in your search results. Like the pages of those custom menus? Does anyone know what this person is talking about? It's quite the page. It's a lot of animations. Like, do they mean these pages? I wish I had a sitemap page, then I could go see what they have. Or do they mean these things? I'm confused. If they're hoping that, like, this page here, this form here is going to show up in their search, like, that's just not going to happen. WordPress is not smart enough to do that. All right, I'll have to check on that one later. Can anyone share me a plugin for creating a quick guide for users? I don't think there are any that I know of. If someone knows a way to do kind of like a walkthrough, like almost like a record your own walkthrough thing with your actual site, kind of like what like WP 101's plugin or whatever does on the back end to walk you through WordPress. Is there anything like that for the front end? I don't know that there is. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there is one and I just don't know it. If there is, I'd be super interested because that'd be a pretty useful tool. Remove duplicate H1 tag in docdirect template. What is docdirect template? The topic? Oh, they must mean the theme. Yeah, I'm not gonna help someone mess around with their theme. I'm sorry. Not like that. After following all the best practices, I recently clicked on a link from WordPress to update my site. Now, my site is not working properly. My categories have all disappeared. Please help me. I tried rollback plugin. That didn't work either. So, this is one of the things, right? He says, and I hate to point it out, but he said that he followed all the best practices. And one of the two best practices for updating a WordPress site is, if you can, test it on a staging site. And either way, make sure you back up before you update. So if he did all the best practices, then he did those two things, which means he should be able to restore from a backup. Right? Right? Yeah. I know, it's kind of a mean answer, but it is the truth. You gotta make sure you back up your stuff. Backup, 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 backup. Off server backup, on server backup. Backup to your personal computer. Backup of your personal computer to some cloud storage backup solution. Like, you should have so many backups that, you know, a nuclear bomb could go off in your town and you would not lose any data. Or like a nuclear bomb at your data center. I don't know. Like, you should be having 3 or 4 copies of any like important files. And if you don't, why not? What are you doing? Backups. I know. It's hard not to like harp on it because backups are just so important. Like, we even have a backup service at PressTitan because we personally have experienced issues with backups before. You know, web host saying, "Oh yeah, we back up your website every day." Well, when's the last time you tested those backups, Mr. Web host? When's the last time I tested those backups as customer? Right? Like, we don't do it enough. We don't make sure these backups are working, and so we just move forward assuming everything is fine, and then one day when we need them, they're not really there. Or they're on the actual server and that server goes down or gets broken or whatever, right? So, backups. More backups. Please do more. Alright, displaying page or post type. Hey there. I am trying to display what type of page or post a user is on. I have BBPress installed and would like to display a simple text message to let them know they're on a forum or a topic page. Does anyone know if there's a way to display the page type? That's interesting. I mean, if you can read a post type using this, then you should be able to display them. Right? Right. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I like this code is correct. Like, this function is what that person needs. I find a lot of people who don't know how to code, and I'm including myself in this bucket, by the way. A lot of people who don't know how to code end up trying to code, and they look for kind of the fast solution, right? So this person might have just like copied this and was like, "Ta-da! I've done it," right? Which is not correct. Like, you need to get the post type of the single. Actually, maybe it would be in the loop, right? Because this gets a list of all registered post types. That person really just needs the post type of that post. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, see, this is not what I want. Does the... I'm sure it exists. I'm sure it exists as an option somewhere. The category, the ID. Maybe it doesn't. Like, we can query by post type, which I thought meant that we could just grab the post type. That's weird. Edit. There we go. Adjusted my answer for what will hopefully be a more correct answer. Basically, I don't see anything in the loop that says, like right here, right, where it has this information here. Actually, maybe the meta would have it? No. Yeah, I don't know where the post type is stored with regards to the loop. See, this is what it shows what it can display, right? The title, the excerpt, the content, the category, things like that. But I don't see a way to like grab the post type. I'm sure someone smarter than me out there who knows WordPress even deeper from a programming perspective will be able to get that information to them, though. All right, let's go back to our list. WooCommerce sales countdown, redirect issue, redirects, man. Every media files are unattached suddenly. Oh. Check pin code in the checkout. Cannot insert image in post. Website admin loading. Too much time. Errors in adding featured image or changing it. Show read more only on mobile mode. You wish. You'd have to change which. Yeah, you'd have to change so much stuff to make that happen. From a PHP perspective, it's not worth it. I mean, I guess you could use JavaScript to do this, but it's not really a WordPress thing. Okay. I installed WordPress in localhost, but when I click on a link, I'm getting not found error. My permalink settings are like below. So they're getting the WordPress admin, which is interesting. So I think the first step would be to set their permalinks to plain. There we go. So yeah, basically trying to have them isolate the cause of the issue. If they set their permalinks to plain, then they're not really using mod rewrite, which means if it works, then mod rewrite is the problem. If it still doesn't work, then it means PHP is the problem. So at least that'll hopefully give them some more information. I'm not sure what happened to our website, but suddenly every single media file is unattached, and it occurred multiple times this month. Is there a reason behind this and a solution behind this problem? Yeah, it's not the kind of thing that this support form would be good for. I've never heard of that happening before. And I've been around WordPress for 16 years. So This is not an everyday occurrence. Add deactivated plugins. Yeah. I mean, it's likely a JavaScript issue or like a conflict maybe with a theme. They don't mention a theme, right? I'm not just blind. Am I blind? Website admin loading taking too much time. Boom, hosting issue. Talk to your host. Not enough people message their web hosts. Like, they come on the support forums for these different programs. Why don't you message your web host? Like, why are you afraid of messaging your web host? Does it cost you extra money to message them? Yeah, I don't know. James Huff, volunteer moderator. Plugin or theme conflict. You are probably correct. Wow, okay. Their WooCommerce analytics might be broken. So yeah, probably a plugin issue. So I don't need to add anything to that thingamabobber. All right. I'm still getting so many messages. 20 more minutes. We can do this. I have a million things to do for work after I'm done on here. Show read more on Lamb Mobile. Let's jump into that one real quick. Boom. No one wants to write their own code sometimes because then you got to troubleshoot it and maybe it works here but not there, and that can be really frustrating. Category page displaying full posts. I mean, it really depends on your theme, doesn't it? You need to check your archive template. Hopefully that helps them. So yeah, when you edit a file in a theme and then that theme gets updated, all your updates go away unless it's a child theme. So if you make a child theme, and people dislike doing this, but there's actually plugins to help you make child themes, and there's websites to help you make child themes. So don't stress about the idea of making a child theme. It's really not that difficult, but it allows you to kind of create your own override files that don't get overwritten when your parent theme gets an update. So that can be hugely helpful. I recommend most people have a child theme set up, even if they have no need for one. It's only Tuesday. It feels like Thursday. No access to plugins on dashboard? Changed WordPress URL. Now icons are missing. Well, yeah. Section block background image disappears when page published. Interesting. Custom post type. That's always interesting. Pagination not working. Page to reload on button click. All right, let's see what we got. Hi, I did some updates on the plugins, and to have everything clear for the update for 5.3.2, at the update of the plugins, there was an error. Now, if I'm on dashboard, it's not possible to get access to plugins anymore. Just for some info, some agency did a change in the WP installation before, so the login page was not in the directory WP admin. I think they did a redirect or something like that in another directory. Where can I find this and put it back to WP admin? Anybody an idea? So, for those of you that don't know, renaming a folder in your WP Content Plugins folder. So when you have a plugin in there, let's say like Gravity Forms, and you rename it to Old Gravity Forms as the folder name, that will likely deactivate it, like 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, I'm pretty sure. And then once it's deactivated, if that was the issue or that was causing the error, then it should resolve itself by doing that. And then you can figure out why it did it and renable the plugin if you think you want to. So lots of options there. The fact that they didn't provide us with an error makes that a little difficult to troubleshoot as well. Like typically when you go to a page, it might say like access denied or something like that. That typically will give you the information you need to troubleshoot it further. Yeah. Uh-oh. I don't know if my live stream just died there for a second or not. Hi. Waiting to see myself wave at myself. If I see that, then I think I'm good, right? Technology. It's only good when it works. Changed WordPress URL. Now icons are missing. I changed my main domain on my hosting account, so I had to change the URL for WordCommerce site. Now icons are missing. How do I retrieve them? So if they were hosting with Press Titan, what I would do is I would jump on there and use WP CLI, which is a command line interface, and search for any of the old URL and switch it to the new URL, and then that typically fixes that problem. So that's why I said that they should contact their web host. I have created a landing page. I set up a section block with 2 section columns. In the left column, I added a background image When I view the page in preview mode, the image displays exactly how I want. After publishing the page, the background image no longer displays. This is likely a theme issue. That's strange. So like Divi and other themes now have like their own like CSS caching kind of built in, and so you have to be careful of that causing you to experience issues. Hi guy, just one. I have create the custom post type, all work, but not show permalink title. This is the code. Understand their question. I feel bad. Hi, I want the page to reload when a user clicks on a certain button on the page. I know, it makes for such a boring video when I'm just typing away, right? But basically what I'm trying to figure out is, if they have these buttons for these different languages, what's controlling that, right? If I click on Russian and I refresh the page, why would it be in Russian? Like, what's controlling that action? That's kind of important to this whole question, right? Hi everyone, well, I have a problem. It won't let me edit anything. I click on edit the page, it leaves me blank without loading anything. When I'm in the WordPress, when I go to the WordPress desktop and click on the pages menu and then I want to edit the page, it also leaves me blank. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Kabam. Again, WordPress error logging. Great thing to enable if you're confused about something. Also, contact your web host. Great thing to do if you're confused about something. I mean, if they've already looked at it being a plugin or theme conflict and it's not, then maybe WordPress needs to be reinstalled, or maybe there's an issue with the configuration of the website. Like, there's a lot of different options there. So again, yeah, James Huff already got there too. Darn you, James Huff, doing such a good job running around fixing things. Download button opens audio player instead of downloading file. Yeah, so to make it download, there's a way to do it. Yeah, so there's now the HTML5 download element. Boom. Hopefully that helps. It's funny, right? I have all this knowledge from all my years of working on this stuff, but sometimes I'm just like, what is the thing again? How do I do that? So, which Gutenberg block to use for search results? What? We are using the search Gutenberg block on a new Gutenberg site for a search form, but can't figure out which block to use on the search results page to display the search results. Huh? So they're creating a search results page. I don't know. I don't know what they're talking about. There's no search Gutenberg block yet. Not built into WordPress as far as I'm aware. Get JSON from my... Like, these kinds of questions are not for the support forum, to be honest. Is this possible using WordPress? No. Well, no. I'm sure you could, but why would you? I don't know. People try to do the strangest things with WordPress, which is kind of the big advantage of it, right? Perfect. Okay, I'll look at that in a minute. So many work things. So again, if you have any questions or concerns about WordPress, WordPress hosting, WordPress optimization, I'd love to help you with those. Just let me know. Again, you can comment in the live stream. I'm trying to do this every day, or in the comments of the previous video, and I'll look at those and bring those up. And if no one comes in and does anything, then I'll be working on my own projects and answering support questions. But I think for today, we're going to call it quits. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.